Hey, it looks like we got action. Now, let's confirm this here. Facebook. And we should be live on Facebook. We should be live on YouTube. Let's see. Let's now get Instagram in the mix. Because they be rocking with us. IG be rocking with me. As I always say, come on in, invite a friend. Matter of fact, invite about 10. Cause it's the Floating Yogis Book Club and we about to go in, y'all. I'm in a new space. It's a whole bunch of change and transitions that's been going on. And quite frankly, I'm loving it. So I'm going to use this time to invite some folk. And I encourage you to invite some folk too. And as they start dropping in, as your people start coming in, chat with them. Be like, hey, yo, we about to learn something today. What's happening today? We've been on the mindset. We've been talking about how we can get our mind right, keep it right. How we can be in a leadership position and not in a fixed state of mind where we're only focused on one thing. However, this time we're going to dive into something a little bit different. And that's the because through all the moving that we're doing, I don't know what a book is. It's not simple. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. Wow, no. I just lost the book in translation. But it's going to show up. I'm sure it's going to show up. So we're going to finish that thing out. But this week we got a little intermission. So as you do that, boom. Now I got the invite sent out. So, as you do that, do exactly what I did and invite a friend. Matter of fact, invite about 10 because it's the Floating Yogis Book Club. We about to go in. This is brought to you by UE, Urban Yogic Wellness and Education, where we're restructuring health and wellness in the community, bringing the power of healing and evolution back to the individual's hand, one healthy habit at a time. Also, it's brought to you by Lifeform. I encourage you to check out their mats. They're phenomenal. That's what I teach on. That's what I practice on daily. The slip resistance is fantastic, and sometimes I can sweat like a hog in heat. So I encourage you to check them out. They're like the Cadillac of yoga mats. Ooh, I'm trying to tell you. So all the things that we learn on the mat, we can take off the mat with lessons like this, and this is what they're supporting. These sessions where we can get together and talk about the things that don't necessarily happen on the mat, but help us to get even further on the mat and off the mat. All right, with that being said, we about to get into it. We, as I said, I have misplaced the book in transit. We are the 4th day in the new house, in the new spot. So, we still got like a box to unpack. A box to unpack. Maybe 2. I don't know where the second box is. I know of one, and that's because we don't have a bookshelf. And now you see why we're in the conundrum we're in. Because I don't have a bookshelf. Shabbatya, what up, though? If you want to be a part of... let me talk about some of the people who help me be me, help me do what I do. Because my guy, Yogi, he's part of the crew. And if you did not know...
Feel free to check out UE.DC on IG, where you can find me and the rest of the growth gang. Tune in, type in, hit that you meditated and moved today so that we can celebrate together, because people are our greatest resource and we're better together that way. So tap in, hit the box, get a shout out, and join a community that cares about the things that you care about. Because you're watching this, because you're hearing me, I know you should be moving and meditating.
Come on now, I couldn't have said it better. My daggone self. That hit the nail on the head. One of the people who help me be me, help me do what I do, my guy Yogi, he's part of the crew. A dimension where people are our greatest resources. I encourage you to tap in with him and figure out how he can add a little love, a little light to your life. So
That's a beautiful mug you got there too, brother.
come on, I'm trying to. I thought
Beautiful mug. Oh yeah, I saw it. I seen it. I seen
you
it.
seen
I
it.
ain't
Did
what
you?
I
Is it
seen
this
it.
side? Is it this side? Or is it that side?
Oh, it's that side. I like that
It's
side.
this
That
side.
side. Yeah, I like that side.
I ain't
That
gonna
side.
fake. I like
It's
this
close to
side.
the light. It's close to the light on the other side. That's why I like it that way.
Oh, see, I'm all about the darkness, but I hear you. I'm picking up what you're putting down now.
Darkness. Tyler Murphy.
Oh, we gotta get started. We gotta get started, yo. We gotta get the ball rolling. So, one of the books that I've been debating on doing next. I'm not going to tell you what book is next. Is this book called The Four Agreements, right? If you haven't heard of it, I encourage you to tap in. If you have heard of it, I encourage you to tap in. It's a short book, nice little read, and I think that these are some impactful agreements or impactful changes that we can implement into our life. I've seen them work wonders in mine. So, we're going to do a little intro. What up, Yoga? What up, Natty J? What up, Simply Shanti? What up, Canada? What up, Coach G Fitness? Hey, what's good with you, my G? We in here getting a little bit of the off-mat knowledge. All right, let's see. We reading the Four Agreements. We're going to tap into the Four Agreements. The Toltec. Thousands of years ago, the Toltec were known throughout southern Mexico as women and men of knowledge. Anthropologists have spoken of the Toltec as a nation or race, but in fact, the Toltec were scientists and artists who formed a society to explore and conserve the spiritual knowledge and practices of the ancient ones. That kind of sounds a little bit like, what was it? The occult knowledge, the Masonic studies, all those fun things, or like, ooh yeah, it sounds like some something I could get with. All right, they came together as masters and students of Teotihuacan, the ancient city of pyramids outside of Mexico, known as the place where man becomes God. Over the millennium, the Naguls were forced to conceal the ancestral wisdom and maintain its existence in obscurity. European conquest, coupled with rampant misuse of personal power by a few of the apprentices, made it necessary to shield the knowledge from those who were not prepared to use it wisely or who might intentionally misuse it for personal gain. Yeah, that's a real space. Fortunately, the esoteric Toltec knowledge was embodied and passed on through generations of different lineages of Naguls. Those are the masters. Throughout it remained veiled in secrecy for hundreds of years. Ancient prophecies foretold the coming of age when it would be necessary to return the wisdom of the people. Now, Don Miguel Ruiz, a Nagul from Eagle Knight lineage, has been guided to share with us the powerful teachings of the Toltec. Toltec knowledge arises from the same essential unity of truth as all the sacred esoteric traditions found around the world. Though it is not a religion, it honors all the spiritual masters who have taught on earth. While it does embrace spirit, it is most accurately described as a way of life, distinguished by the ready accessibility of happiness and love. I can rock with that. The readiness and accessibility of happiness and love. I do believe it's
what
always right.
Stuck out to me the most, not just what I posted, but it was made necessary to shield the knowledge from those who are not prepared to use it wisely or who might intentionally misuse it for personal gain. Now, immediately, that lets me know, oh, I can misuse this? I want to. Like, immediately, it makes me like, ooh, we could be dangerous. Ooh, we could upset I swear, I piss off my spirit guides at least twice a month. And I'm not talking about being ignorant. I'm not talking about being ignorant. I'm talking about, okay, in the Bible, it talks about the dude who wrestled with the angel all night long.
Okay.
I'm kind of like that motherfucker. Because, and not in a good way, in a way that says, If it's too, I understand the hard way makes the lesson stay longer. So I will voluntarily learn the hard way because I know I'm bad as hell and I'm tough as hell and ain't nothing gonna get to me until I get to hell. So if my spirit
Ooh.
guides want me to progress, they gonna fight me for it. And literally my whole and like because it's fun for me to think about competition.
Uh huh.
The same way how it's fun for people to compete, it's fun for me to compete in the same way with my spirit guides, with my ancestors, with my pastor, with my bosses. I think I've got that disorder that can't take authority, and
I was
I've
about to
just figured out
say.
the best way to use it. I
I
think
was
I've just
about to
figured out
say.
the best
I
way.
feel like you just have like a conflict with authority. You just don't like being told what to do or what the rules is. That's
But
what it
I
seems like.
understand. But I understand that they know more than me, and I respect them as such.
And you choose to learn your lesson the hard way. Hey,
Exactly. It's
I ain't
a
got nothing to say, but where's the popcorn?
exactly. So that's the part that stuck out to me the most. That's the part that really got me. The fact that they made it necessary to shield the knowledge from those who are not prepared to use it wisely. I'm like, ooh, let's go.
Cause it's all about what you do with it. Like there's so much you can do with this, with knowledge in general. We gonna see where they go. I ain't even trying to. We almost we let's get it started. The smoke and
Oh,
mirror. Let's get it started. This
diving
is the
in.
introduction. We ain't reading the whole thing now. We ain't reading the whole thing. We got the introduction, and we gonna rap a little bit. I might pick up the Osho book because you know I bought that fatback Joe. Hey, what up, Natalie? If you want to be a part of the Zoom room, drop your email to Payoga. He'll send you the link. You can come on in here. You can rap and chat with us. We can vibe and make it happen. Joint meditations. What up, joint meditations? Hey, you want to be part of the Zoom room? Come on through. Payoga, he'll send you the link. You can hop in the Zoom room and we can chat it up, wrap it up.
The other thing that stuck out was where men became gods, and we and you had a little, a very short one-to-one exchange about men and gods, and are we gods or are we not gods? So we could rap about that too.
We can rap about that. We can rap about that. They already brought it out there. I'm a firm believer that we are gods. I don't call everybody a god because it'd be offensive as hell to people, and I'm like, damn, you that's all right. That's where your level of self love goes, and that's cool.
Mm.
That's it.
Yogi shots fired.
I'm just saying. I call people kings because it's more fitting. A lot of people are like, I can rest with a king or a queen over it. Because how I look at it is, we're the god of our own bodies. We're the god of our own life. We don't dictate everything that happens because we can't control other people, but we can dictate how we act, how we respond, regardless of what
Choice
situations we're placed in, what pressure is pushing us to respond a different way. We can choose.
choice is the most powerful verb. I forgot what movie it was. I feel like it was some white lady that came in and teach black kids, but they said choice is the most
That's real.
powerful verb because even if you have a gun to your head, you can choose to die without screaming,
Boom.
or you can choose to go down with the fight. You still have
Hmm.
choice, even with the gun to your head.
Even
You have choice.
it's like what you gonna do. I will say, I'm a little hard headed in the sense of kind of like where you at with it. I don't want to learn the lesson the hard way. However, if I think I can finesse it on this little way around, I might give it a shot. I
The
will say,
hard way is more fun. The hard way is more fun, and you know it. You know it. You know it.
the hard way is not more fun. No, it turns out to be a more elaborate story.
Elaborate or
It turns
fun?
out to be a more elaborate story, I think. Hey, what up, Brent? Brent LV, one of the dudes who helped me do me, help me be who I be. If you're looking for any digital assets, website development, come on, man, check him out. This dude's on his stuff. He's sharp with it. Yeah. So yeah, I look at things. I look at people as we are the gods of our body. If that it takes you against your belief system or whatever it may be, then I call you a king or a queen. If you don't resonate with that, you could be whatever you want. Human at that point. You offended by that? You're not a human, you're a cat. All right, now we're just getting into weird terms. I'm gonna let you be gone. Because gods can do that, right? They're not a god. So I guess if I was a god and I wanted something out of my way, like shoo fly, be gone. That could be rude and sound egotistical. But at the same time, though, the difference between them is more so the connection to something more than yourself. That's another reason why I use God. Because I'm just like one mind of the hive mind. Like of the bigger picture, the bigger goals that I'm a part of, the bigger things that I'm connected to. Oh yeah. The consciousness plexus, or we could even call it. Whatever's within that realm of consciousness in the form of what are some different beliefs? We can say religion would be one, the different types of religion. We can say different types of schooling, different types of thoughts on what reality is. There's a whole but as far as when someone says they're a king, I see it more so in the terms of like the physical nature. When I see God, I take it beyond that. I take it beyond just a king is like the representative and the ruler of its people. And I see a God more so as less action. You have the power to act, but
more power.
You have, but it's more observant as well, and it's actually less action. Like conscious action is more the consciousness towards the observation, because then you can make the better decision. It's more so about patience than action. But this is a whole nother deep world, because we're going to get into like black light. We're going to get into a lot of like metaphysics, and we're not doing that on live. But we're not doing that on live. Come to a workshop. Come to the Zoom room. Come to a workshop, and we could chat about that. We could just probe some of that, the black light, the spirit world, astral projection. We can probe some of this here, and just throw a little bit on it, and we'll deal with the rest later in a workshop.
$200 will let you astral project, and he'll call you back for meditations like he did for me last week. I swear I was in the middle of that 5 minutes, and I just heard put things back in portals, put away those doors, like yada yada. I was like, I gotta hit him up when I'm done.
Like, let me take
he came to visit.
Where did I go? I will say these techniques take time, because the conscious has to get comfortable with it. It's not something you know. It's something that's familiar, but you've been trained to do the exact opposite. So it takes time for us to be comfortable with doing something we've been doing the exact opposite of our whole lives. And changing some of the words, because words create the reality in which we perceive. So if you don't use the right words, like if you use words like darkness instead of black light, if you use the words like can't or try, then you get different reality to deal with.
I'm digging that.
Ignorant slip.
Right. We've been rapping. I definitely want to get to the smoky mirror.
Yeah, we right here. The smoky mirror. All right. 3,000 years ago, there was a human just like you and me who lived near a city surrounded by mountains. The human was studying to become a medicine man, to learn the knowledge of his ancestor. But he didn't completely agree with everything he was learning. In his heart, he felt there must be something more. One day, as he slept in a cave, he dreamed that he saw his own body sleeping. He came out of the cave on a night of a new moon. The sky was clear, and he could see millions of stars. Then, something happened inside of him that transformed his life forever. He looked at his hands. He felt his body, and he heard his own voice say, I am made of light. I am made of stars. He looked at the stars again, and then he realized that it's not the stars that create light, but rather the light that creates the star. Everything is made of light, he said, and the space between isn't empty. And he knew that everything that exists is one living being. And that light is the messenger of life, because it is alive and contains all information. Then he realized that although he was made of stars, he was not those stars. I am in between the stars, he thought. So he called the stars the tonal and the light between the stars the nagul. And he knew that what created the harmony and space between the two is life or intent. Without life, the tonal and the nagul could not exist. Life is the force of absolute, the supreme, the creator who creates everything. This is what he discovered. Everything in existence is a manifestation of the one living being we call God. Everything is God. And he came to the conclusion that human perception is merely light perceiving light. He also saw that matter is a mirror. Everything is a mirror that reflects light and creates images of that light. In the world of illusion, the dream is just like smoke, which doesn't allow us to see what we really are. Dun dun dun. The real us is pure love, light, he said. This realization changed his life. Once he knew what he really was, he looked around at other humans and the rest of nature, and he was amazed at what he saw. He saw himself in everything, in every human, in every animal, in every tree, in the water, in the rain, the clouds, the earth. And he saw that life mixed the tonal and the nagul in different ways to create billions of manifestations of life. In those few moments, he comprehended everything. He was very excited. He was probably on LSD. And his heart was filled with peace. He could hardly wait to tell his people what he'd discovered, or mushrooms, psilocybin. But there were no words to explain it. He tried to tell others, but they could not understand. They couldn't see that he changed, that something beautiful was radiating from his eyes and his voice. They noticed that he no longer had judgment about anything or anyone. He was no longer like anyone else. He could understand everyone very well, but no one could understand him. They believed that he was an incarnation of God, and that he smiled when he heard this, and he said, "It's true, I am God, but you are also God. We are the same, you and I. We are images of light, we are God." But still, the people didn't understand him. He had discovered that he was a mirror for the rest of the people, the mirror in which he could see himself. Everyone is a mirror, he said. He saw himself in everyone, but nobody saw him as themselves. And he realized that everyone was dreaming, but without awareness, without knowing that they really are. They couldn't see him as themselves because there was a wall of fog or smoke between the mirrors. And that wall was fog, but that wall of fog was made by the interpretation of images of light, the dream of humans. Then he knew that he would soon forget all that he'd learned. He wanted to remember all of the visions he had, so he could decide to call himself the smoky mirror, so that he would always know that matter is a mirror and that the smoke in between is what's keeping us from knowing what we are. He said, "I am the smoky mirror because I am looking at myself in all of you, but we don't recognize each other because of the smoke between us. That smoke is the dream, and the mirror is you, the dreamer." This metaphor resonates. I can get the smoke in between us, the space between us is not empty. There's something in it that's kind of like blurring the image of light that we're seeing, or refracting light around, so it's a little bit different. I get that metaphor. It rocks. I get it. Us, matter being the mirror, and us being the dreamer. Smoke is the dream, and the mirror is you, the dreamer. So I'm the dreamer. The smoke is the dream, the things that I want to accomplish, and how I see it happening. And matter is the mirror. That just means I'm bouncing back and forth on the same thing. What you got, Tony?
Well, I was gonna say the smoking between the mirrors and whatnot sounds a whole lot like we create our own realities, or we can only see through our perception, or you can only meet people as deeply as they met themselves, or any analogy that gives the thought to that what we see and what we understand is based upon what we have seen and what we already understand.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like this, like a lot of other books that we go through, is like metaphorical in the same way. Like it's deep, and it's as deep as you want to take it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could take this and you could say, "Oh, it's like every other book. It's no big deal," or you could take this and be like, "Okay, there's a specific reason why these references are being used right now in these contexts." And so we're going to look at it differently. And we're going to wipe more smoke away from our mirrors. And we're going to clear more of our filters. And we're going to think deeply about these topics and really get somewhere. So that's where I'm at. Like, I see the familiarity, and I'm ready to move into what makes this different. I'm ready for it.
One of the, another metaphor that I've seen, that I've heard, is kind of like that we see reality, but we turn the images around. So instead of it being fog between us, it's
like a camera.
Yeah, it's kind of us flipping those images. Sometimes we see it clearly, but we forget to flip one thing over, and we think it's hot and it's cold. We think it's left and it's right. So that's
that happened with the meditation. Remember when I told you I was hot and I didn't take off the hoodie and I just like let it be there?
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't feel cold, but the fact that I was hot and then I wasn't hot was like purely internal.
Yeah,
Nothing changed. Nothing changed outside of me except in my mind.
That's how strong the mind is, yo. It will change the chemical composition of the body, how you feeling inside. Hey, what up, Yogi Locks? Yogi Locks. If you want to be part of the Zoom room, if you want to rap with us and chat with us, come on, hit up my dude Pay Ogre. He'll send you the link, and you can slide on in this thing. Let's get this thing growing.
Mo knows Detox showed up. Hey, what's up,
Mo? Where you go, Mo? You already know. For the sea moss serums, elixirs, all them things, hit my dude up. The watermelons, he got the seeded watermelons for you. Them Jones be sweet, but we ain't got no. I don't think he got no watermelons now. It is not watermelon season. Them Jones gonna come out ratchet as hell. So we ain't rocking with that. Hey, go on, send Mo the link. Cause I think Mo know a little bit about the 4 agreements. We reading the 4 agreements, y'all. All right, let's see. Domestication and the dream of the planet. We're gonna tap into a little bit of this. Much love, man. Much love, my dude. We might tap. This is a lot of pages. We looking at 13 pages for the chapter. Let's see what we can get. See, he already know about it. He already know. He gonna be able to chime in, add a little love. Okay, domestication and the dream of the planet. Living is easy with eyes closed. Misunderstanding all you see. John Lennon. Yeah, wasn't getting too. Well, who'd you think that was? Oh, Osho. Marcus Aurelius. No. Carl Jung. John Lennon. Let's get this knowledge. What you are seeing and hearing right now is nothing but a dream. You are dreaming right now in this moment. This sounds like the Matrix. Isn't that right, Neo? You are dreaming in this moment. Alright. You are dreaming with the brain awake. Dreaming is the main function of the mind. And the mind dreams 24 hours a day. It dreams when the brain is awake, and it also dreams when the brain is asleep. The difference is that when the brain is awake, there's a material frame that makes us perceive things in a linear way. When we go to sleep, we do not have the frame, and the dream has a tendency to change constantly. That's why we pit a point of focus in our meditations. Humans are dreaming all the time. Before we were born, the humans, before we were born, the humans before us created a big outside dream that we will call society's dream, or the dream of the planet. The dream of the planet is a collective dream of billions of smaller personal dreams, which together create a dream of a family, a dream of a community, a dream of a city, a country, and finally, a dream of the whole humanity. The dream of the planet includes all of society's rules, beliefs, laws, religions, and different cultures and ways to be. Its government, schools, social events, and holidays. Hey, what up, Alice? We are born with the capacity to learn how to dream, and the humans who lived before us teach us how to dream the way society dreams. Ooh. Alright. I like the way this is worded. The outside dream has so many rules that when a new human is born, we hook the child's attention and introduce the rules into his or her mind. The outside dream uses mom and dad, the schools, and religion to teach us how to dream. Attention is the ability we have to discriminate and to focus only on that which we want to perceive. We can perceive millions of things simultaneously. But using our attention, we can hold whatever we want to perceive in the foreground of our minds. The adults around us hooked our attention and put information into our minds through repetition. That's facts. That's absolute facts. And that's the way we learn everything we know. By using our attention, we learn a whole reality, a whole dream. We learn how to behave in society, what to believe and what not to believe, what is acceptable and what's not acceptable, what is good and what is bad, what is beautiful and what is ugly, what is right and wrong, was all already there. It was there already. All that knowledge, all those rules and concepts about how to behave in the world. When you were in school, you sat in a chair and put your attention on the teacher who was teaching you. When you went to church, you put your attention on what the priest or minister was telling you. It is the same dynamic with mom, dad, brothers, and sisters. They're all trying to hook your attention. We also learn to hook the attention of other humans, and we develop a need for attention, which can become very competitive. Children compete for attention of their parents, their teachers, their friends. Look at me, look at what I'm doing. Hey, I'm here. The need for attention becomes very strong and continues into adulthood. That can be real. The outside dream hooks our attention and teaches us what to believe. Beginning with the language that we speak. Language is the code for understanding and communication between humans. Every letter, every word in each language is an agreement. We call upon this page in the book. The word page is an agreement that we understand. Once we understand the code, our attention is hooked and the energy is transferred from one person to another. It was not your choice to speak English. You didn't choose your religion or your moral values. They were already there before you were born. We never had the opportunity to choose what we believe or what not to believe. We never choose even the smallest of these agreements. We didn't even choose our own name. That's real. As children, we didn't have the opportunity to choose our beliefs. Ooh, that's so real. It's Christian. I was raised Christian. Normally I was going to say born Christian. I wasn't born Christian. But I was raised Christian. I was born human. Moving forward. As children, we don't have the opportunity to choose our beliefs. But we agreed with this information that was passed to us from the dream of the planet and the other humans. The only way to store information is by agreement. The outside dream may hook our attention, but if we don't agree, we don't store that information. Picking up what he's putting down? So if we're in conflict with it, we don't accept it into our reality. We don't accept it into our subconscious, into our life, into our being. It's an ongoing fight. Anything. Don't matter what it is. As soon as we agree, we believe it, and this is called faith. To have faith is to believe unconditionally. That is how we learn as children. Children believe everything adults say. We agree with them, and our faith is so strong that the belief system controls our whole dream of life. We don't choose these beliefs. We may have rebelled against them, but we're not strong enough to win the rebellion. Interesting perception. The result is surrender to the belief with our agreement. I call this process the domestication of humans. Ooh, delicious. And through the domestication, we learn how to live and how to dream. In a human domestication, this information from the outside dream is conveyed to the inside, creating our whole belief system. First, the child is taught the name of things: mom, dad, milk bottle. Day by day, at home, at school, at church, from the television, we're all told how to live and what kind of behavior is acceptable. The outside dream teaches us how to be human. We have a whole concept of what a woman is and what a man is. And that's being a little bit shot today. We got questions on that. And we can also learn to judge. We judge ourselves, judge other people, judge neighbors. Children are domesticated the same way that we domesticated a dog, a cat, or any other animal. In order to teach a dog, we punish the dog and we give it rewards. We train our children, to whom we love so much, the same way we train a domesticated animal, with the system of punishment and reward. Good job, June. You did a great job. You peed on the potty. Fantastic. It took us so much effort to get here, and we finally made it on the potty. Keep keeping at it. Good job. Reward.
Throw a whole party.
A whole party. Like when she out of diapers, it might be a whole party though. Like for real. Like that. You said you coming up on it, man. Whoo! I feel that. I'm excited for that phase. All right. We are told you're a good boy, you're a good girl when we do what mom and dad wants us to do. When we don't, we are a bad girl or a bad boy. I do try my best to avoid that phrasing. She's not old enough to truly be bad.
I'm more specific than bad. I'm like, you're not being nice. You're not listening well. You're being mean. You're being unnecessarily. You're being unhelpful.
You're being intentionally violent.
Wanted. Exactly. Like be specific.
You're choosing to be hard headed. You're choosing not to listen. Like
you didn't make a good choice or a choice that I would have made. Would you like to explain to me why you made that choice? If you can't, then we might have some problems, and you need to know in the future not to do it again. Like I got a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old. Let's go. All day, every day. I DJ and do church on the weekends. Monday through Friday is dad. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. All right. Yeah. Man, I'm excited for that time. I'm just... All right. Anyway. When we went against the rules, we were punished. When we went along with the rules, we got rewarded. We were punished many times a day, and we were also rewarded many times a day. Soon, we became afraid of being punished and also afraid of not receiving a reward. The reward is the attention that we got from our parents or from other people like siblings or teachers or friends. We soon develop a need to hook other people's attention in order to get the reward. The reward feels good, and we keep doing what others want us in order to get the reward. With that fear of being punished, with the fear of being punished and that fear of not getting the reward, we start pretending to be what we're not, just to please others, just to be good enough for someone else. We try to please mom and dad, we try to please the teachers at school, we try to please the church, and so we start acting. We pretend to be what we are not because we're afraid of being rejected. Ooh. The fear of being rejected becomes the fear of not being good enough. Eventually, we become someone that we are not. We become a copy of mama's beliefs, daddy's beliefs, society's beliefs, and religion's beliefs. All our normal tendencies are lost in the process of domestication. And when we're old enough for our minds to understand, we learn the word no. Adults say, don't do this and don't do that. We rebel and say no. We rebel because we are defending our freedom. We want to be ourselves, but we are very little. And the adults are big and strong. After a certain time, we're afraid because we know that every time we do something wrong, we're going to get punished. The domestication is so strong that at a certain point in our lives, we no longer need anyone to domesticate us. We don't need mom or dad, the school, the church to domesticate us. We are so well trained that we are our own domesticator. Ooh, juicy. We are an auto-domesticated animal. We can now domesticate ourselves according to the same belief systems that we're given. And using the same system of punishment and reward, we punish ourselves when we don't follow the rules according to the belief system. We reward ourselves when we are the good boy or good girl. The belief system is like a book of law that rules our mind. Without question, whatever is in that book of law is our truth. We base all of our judgments according to this book of law, even if these judgments go against our own inner nature. Even moral laws like the Ten Commandments are programmed into our mind in the process of domestication. One by one, all these agreements go into the book of law, and these agreements rule our dream. I mean, I ain't gonna fake. Some of them make sense though. Domestication, I don't think is purely a bad thing, because if we are naturally free, naturally wild, we wouldn't be able to have a society. Not a thriving one, not one that works together.
Society is built on order, and we are chaotic, or individuals are chaotic. You must come together in an agreed upon system of social rules in order to have a functioning society.
I support these thoughts.
What I wanted to point out, though, was the last paragraph. We punish ourselves when we don't follow the rules, and we reward ourselves when we're the good boy or good girl. I think this this punish and reward doesn't have to go any deeper than our conscience. Our conscience. If you do something bad and you feel guilty, you're punishing yourself for it. If you do something good and you feel good, then you are rewarding yourself for it. It's your conscience. Ain't nobody making you feel bad for being bad. Oh my goodness. So I thought I was a sociopath when I figured out that fact. When I actually took control of my own conscience and decided I would decide what I thought was good and bad, and I chose not to feel guilty over something like...
Nah, that's real. That's real.
So I don't think that punishment and reward needs to go any deeper than that. Like, yeah, if you do something good, you get yourself something, whether it be Starbucks or a gift or a present or, something. But it can be as simple as the chemical release that your brain gives you for doing something good or doing something bad. Like, it's still you.
Mm-hmm.
Dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, yeah. The fourth one. Dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and it's the fourth. It's the fourth happy chemical. I'm gonna look it up right now. Happy chemicals. Endorphins. Fourth is endorphins.
Okay, I'm with it. Mo, what you know?
Mono's Detox. How we doing, everybody?
Hey,
I'm glad to see you, brother. He was talking about the watermelons. I was like, I ain't seen watermelons on his story in a minute, man. You late.
I'm priming for when spring come back around.
Trust me, as soon as I gotta wait till my date is summer. As soon as the first day of summer comes, I'm gonna have them until it's over. But it's first day of summer, we back in business with the watermelons, for real.
I'm with you this year too, man. I'm gonna work on my diet this upcoming year. I'm actually paying attention to what I'm putting in.
I love it, and we want to change the word. We want to say live it, not that other word. We want to say if you're living.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. My live it, what I put in, the living things that I put in my body. I got you.
Mm-hmm. See, you gotta get a little bit of this knowledge going on, man.
Take it away, Derek. Take it away.
All right, let's see. There is something in our mind that judges everybody and everything, including the weather, the dog, the cat, everything. The inner judge uses what's in our book of law to judge everything we do and don't do. That was one thing I was thinking about. Snap. Do and don't do. Everything we think and don't think, and everything we feel and don't feel. Everything lives under the tyranny of this judge. Every time we do something that goes against the book of law, the judge says that we're guilty and we need to be punished. We should be ashamed. This happens many times a day, after all, for all the years of our lives. There's another part of us that receives the judgments, and this part is called the victim. Dun, dun, dun. The victim carries the blame, the guilt, and the shame. It's the part of us that says, poor me, I'm not good enough, I'm not intelligent enough, I'm not attractive enough, I'm not worthy enough of love, poor me. The big judge agrees and says, yes, you are not good enough. And this is all based on a belief system that we never choose to believe. These beliefs are so strong that even years later, after we're exposed to new concepts and try to make our own decisions, we find that the beliefs still control our lives. Whatever goes against the book of law will make you feel funny sensations in your solar plexus. And that's called fear. Breaking the rules in the book of law opens up your emotional wounds and your reactions to create emotional poisons. Because everything that is in the book of law has to be true. Anything that challenges what you believe is going to make you feel unsafe. Right? Even if the book of law is wrong, it makes you feel safe. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, so this is going to be a good book. It's going to be a good book. And we're going to tap into this after we slide through mindset. I'm going to find that book next week, and we're going to tap back into it. There was a couple chapters that I did want to point out, and we're just going to slide straight into them and get with it. What else is there? There's a bunch going on, y'all. Again, I'd like to thank Lifeform. Boom, Lifeform. Check out their mats, yo. And then come on back next week so we can get a little bit more of this off-mat knowledge after you get their mat and stock up on your own mat knowledge, right? Get your practicing, get your flowing. What else is there? I'd like to thank Yogi, Urban Yogic Wellness and Education, where we're restructuring health and wellness in the community, one healthy habit at a time. And I'd like to I'd like to let y'all know the schedule. We got Monday virtual book club, Monday morning sunrise flow with G. Tuesday we got lead primary at 6 o'clock virtual. Wednesday we have elevated yoga at 6:30. Thursday bi-weekly we have restorative yoga in person. So not this week. Excuse me. No, it is this week, and next week we have, Friday, you can catch me Monday through Friday at Sun and Moon Yoga at That Yoga Life, with That Yoga Life, for the Ashtanga Mysore portion of the practice. Saturday we got the virtual float and flow, and Sunday is elevated yoga with your boy, with your guy, the float yoga. So, questions, comments, want to work on something, interested, got some pointers, some questions, some topics that you want to talk about, some things that you're interested in, I encourage you to slide them, send them my email, send them to a DM so we can check it out. Let me know what your perspective on it, and we can grow, y'all. It's just that simple. Peace out, y'all. Great growing, great flowing with you.
Peace. Thank you, brother Derek.
You're welcome, my guy. I'm glad you
Have a
stopped
good
by,
night.
man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you. Peace. Stop being carry out there, V. All right, yo. Later.